we're going to start chapter 13, sixth graders. And chapter 13 is about graphing. We're going to be graphing on this called the coordinate plane. Coordinate plane has 4 different quadrants. Quadrant 1 are all positive numbers. Okay, all the positive numbers go in quadrant 1. So if we are given a point or 2 numbers called an ordered pair, and both of them are positive, 2, 3, those are both positive, then that point would go into quadrant 1. Here's how we would graph it. The first number tells you always how far to go right or left on this line. So starting at the point of called the origin, this is 0, 0, we would go as far as it tells us on the x-coordinate. So if the x-coordinate is a 2, we would go 2 to the right because it's a positive 2. Positive is to the right, negative is to the left. Positive is also up, negative is also down. So if we're going 2, 3, we're going to the right 2 and then up 3. And marking that point. This point is in quadrant 1. Notice that the 1 is written as a Roman numeral 1. When you're writing quadrants, you're writing them as Roman numerals. Okay? In quadrant 2, the first number is negative. Then the second number is positive. So we might have a point that we have to graph like negative 2, 3. Okay? Let's say that this point is labeled point B. So if you had to graph point B and you're given these numbers, you would go to the left 2 and then from there go up 3. Mark the dot and label it point B. Okay? Does that make sense? Excuse me. It is allergy season. Okay. Any questions on that? Then it's quadrant 3. Now we would go to the left first, so a negative number, and followed by another negative number. So let's say that we had to graph point C, and it was negative 5, negative 3. We would go over to the left 5, go over the first number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then down 3, 1, 2, 3, and label it point C. What would the numbers be for quadrant 4? What would the ordered pair be as far as positive, negative for quadrant 4? Danny's the only one that knows? Danny?
X would be positive and Y would be negative.
Correct. X would be positive. We go to the right first, and Y would be negative. So 4, negative 2, for example, is an ordered pair. That would get us into quadrant 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right, and then down 2, label that point D. Catherine?
Why is there a thermometer?
The thermometer is an example of how positive and negative numbers are used. Right? And so, at 0, right here, any numbers below 0 are negative numbers, and those are negative temperatures. Any numbers above 0 are positive numbers. and positive or above 0 temperatures. So this is an example of how positive, negative numbers are used in the real world. Okay? So if you were graphing, for example, the temperature at in January at noon was -5 degrees.
What?
Okay, let's say that we had to graph that as a temperature. We set up our x-axis, listen, you could set up the x-axis as the time, and the y-axis as the temperature, and then go over 12 and down 5 to show a temperature of -5 degrees at noon. Okay? So it's a real world example of how the coordinate plane is used. How to graph numbers and how two numbers go together to give you a point on the graph. Time and temperature are an example of two numbers that you could graph. Okay? Let's go to your worksheet. Whenever you're writing a point, given a point on a graph, you write them with parentheses around them. The parentheses tell you that this is an ordered pair. It's not one number, but two numbers. And what are these separated by, Grace? What are the numbers separated by?
0.
No, this is a
comma.
a comma. Two numbers separated by a comma with parentheses around them. Okay? What does the x-coordinate tell you, Kaden?
So straight line.
Yep, it tells you where you should go on the
X-axis.
x-axis, starting at 0. Okay? The y-coordinate tells you how far to go
Down.
Down and up.
or up on the
Line.
y-axis. Now you can remember that the y-axis goes up and down because the letter y is more up and down.
I get it.
Or you can remember that the x is a cross. Okay, it's like a crossing mark. So you go across according to the x-axis and go up and down according to the y-axis.
Okay.
Okay? Any questions on that? Let's see. Oh, here's a question for you. How would you answer this? What quadrant is this point in? This point on the graph. The coordinates for it are, how far right and left do we go to get to this point? 0. So it's 0, comma, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The coordinates for point E are 0, comma, 6. What quadrant is that in? Is it in a quadrant?
No.
No.
No, it's not. It's on the y-axis. So if a point is on an axis, it's not in any of the quadrants. You would just write that it's on the y-axis. Or if it is on this line, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So -6, comma, 0. And this is on the x-axis.
Okay.
Okay? Catherine?
So on the y-axis, when you're going up, that's positive, right?
Correct.
Then wouldn't point E be negative?
Oh,
6?
-6. You're right. This one would be -6. Yep. Yep, good. Any questions? Okay. You should be able to do the rest of the worksheet then. If you have questions, raise your hand and I'll come around.